Hello and welcome back to Factolas. My name is Shibu and this is the review of Shaka Ilembe Season 2, Episode 5. Let's do this. So is it just me or did the writers basically rinse and repeat the whole Matiwane storyline? Hear me out. From Season 1, Dingiswayo has expressed his desire to unite the Southern Kingdoms and form a trade and military alliance with them. This is so that basically they can strengthen themselves against the growing power of the Ndwandwes. And one of the southern kings, Ungwane of the Matiwane kingdom, was vehemently against this idea. And it's for one main reason. It's because the alliance came with the proposal that Dingiswayo and Mtetwas would be leading them, right? And I think this is where we can start to unpack the similarities between Season 1 and Season 2 of the Matiwane storyline. So, in Season 1, Dingiswayo sends Shaka and the Izikwe regiment to go and basically force Ungwane to pledge his allegiance to the Mtetwas. So, Ngwane is then captured by Shaka, and we don't see exactly what happens to him, but all we know is that he isn't killed because we see him again in Season 2. In Season 2, Episode 5, Dingiswayo and Shaka go to war with Ngwane and the Matiwane people to force them to pledge their allegiance to the Mtetwas. This time, the Matiwane are conquered, but we still don't see exactly what happens with Ngwane. Are you starting to see the similarities? And the next similarity in the storyline is probably the most important. So what follows in both scenarios is that there's a conversation between Dingiswayo and Shaka where they basically disagree on what needs to happen next. In Season 1, they disagree on whether or not Ngwane should be killed. Shaka believes Ngwane should have been killed, whereas Dingiswayo believes that, he's not going to go on a killing spree. In Season 2, then, the disagreement comes in when Nomo asks Dingiswayo to help him go and take over the Kwabe throne from his brother Uphagatwayo. Dingiswayo says he's not going to interfere, but Shaka disagrees and thinks that they should go and help Nomo take the throne and basically eliminate Uphagatwayo. So these are the similarities between the two storylines in Season 1 and Season 2. Do I think the writers were being lazy for rinsing and repeating the storyline? No. Because I think it's about way more than just Ngwane and the Matiwane people. And the clue lies in the conversations and the disagreements that Shaka and Dingiswayo were having. These conversations are there to highlight the fundamental differences between Shaka and Dingiswayo's philosophy when it comes to ruling. Shaka believes that a king should rule with overwhelming power, inspiring fear in his subjects. He believes in crushing his enemies and leaving little room for mercy. He believes in using brute force to subjugate kingdoms who don't pledge their allegiance willingly, and he's not averse to war. His decisions and actions are consistent with this philosophy. Dingiswayo, on the other hand, believes in avoiding conflict as far as possible. He would rather form alliances peacefully, hoping to inspire respect in his subjects, not fear. Dingiswayo also prefers to avoid interfering in the internal politics of other kingdoms. And unlike Shaka, who rules with a firm hand, Dingiswayo rules with a gentle hand, which can sometimes translate to weakness. And it explains a lot of what is currently happening with Somveli and Dombazana infiltrating his kingdom. I want to give a shout out to this comment that I received on episode 4's review, which goes into a bit more detail about Dingiswayo's character. But back to Shaka and Dingiswayo. The writers have been sowing the seed of contrast and comparison between the two of them since Season 1. And that's something I appreciate. The writers aren't afraid to take time to slowly build up characters and storylines so that decisions and events that happen in the future are justified and substantiated, and therefore they will have way more impact on the audience. So to close off this review, let's look at some of the other seeds that the writers have sowed for which we are yet to reap a harvest. First is the rivalry between Nomahlanjana and Sikunyana. Since the first episode of season 2, we've seen the rivalry between these two build up, and now it's reaching a climax with Usikunyana basically promising Hlejiwe to help her escape from Ekutunkomo. Next is the looming war with the British. We've already spoken about the subtle ways in which the international world and the British have been introduced to the show, and in this episode we're finally introduced to the British, but not only them. We also meet the British and also meet the Xhosa people through a man named Jacob. And it's through Jacob that we actually learn about the Boers who are currently at war with the British, but they need help from the Nguni people to defeat the British and drive them out of the land. So a war is coming here. Third, we have Sombeli. Oh my word, Sombeli. So if you've ever read the play Macbeth by Shakespeare, then you'll immediately see the similarities between the main character Macbeth and Sombeli. Like Macbeth, who killed to become king and basically continued killing to secure his throne, Sombeli begins this bloody path and deadly path to protect his secret about betraying the Mthethwas and his father. It would have been just easy for him to just come out clean, tell the truth, but now he's stuck and caught in this cycle where one killing is gonna demand more and more killing. Yeah. Speaking about betrayal, we have Ntombazana's possible betrayal. This is just a theory, but is Ntombazana catching feelings and forgetting her mission? Is she going to betray her family? Yeah. I guess this is why the Ndwandwes have a backup plan with Usomveli. And finally, the Ndwandwes. All of their scheming and plotting almost made me forget just how violent these people are. And I think that's why we were given that final scene of episode 5, that gruesome and horrific scene where Melusi is killed. The Ndwandwes may be good at scheming and plotting, but make no mistake, these guys are ruthless and deadly. Okay? So yeah, that's it for the review of episode 5. I'm really looking forward to see how this story unfolds, because we've just been getting breadcrumbs and breadcrumbs and breadcrumbs, but we are still yet to find the bread and get to the conclusion of all of these little minor storylines. But it's just such an entertaining show to watch that you even forget that you're being teased here and there. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to see how these stories unfold. The story is so good and so engaging. I cannot peel myself away from the screen. So yeah, what were your thoughts about the episode and basically all of the minor storylines in there that are teasing us as to what's going to happen in the future? What did you think about this review? And yeah, what are you looking forward to seeing? Personally, I am really getting hyped for this war between the British and the Boers, helped by the Nguni people, because I think we're going to see a lot of Shaka's military genius in those wars and in those battles. So I'm very, very excited about that. And I also want to get this conclusion of Dingiswayo being betrayed by Somveli and what's going to happen with the Ndwandwes. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you think of this review. And I will see you next week for the review of episode 6. I can't believe we're halfway already. I'll see you for the review of episode 6 next week. Bye. Hello and hello, it's me. And this is the review of Shaka Ilembe. I'm the gal. I like that. I like that a lot. I like it a lot. No, I'm forgetting something. I don't know if it's distracting or not. I hope not. Unite and strengthen. The strength then aba unity fela akere. So I don't like that. I don't like it at all. Cut the cameras. Mara ke rena kina le bolwetši ba perfectionism. Why ke palelwa go bolela yo as possible. Can't ke bolela sky as se sekgowa se